Town Poetry Open Mic. If, like most of the humans in the universe, you're nervous about the microphone and using the microphone, we have Scott Yeager in front of us, has many years of experience. And trust me when I say that there are people who are veteran poets, veteran performers who are still scared by this thing. And of course, it's always okay to, you're not really going to hurt it if you mess with it. You can take this off of the stand, that's fine. But if you should feel like you really want assistance, Scott is here to give you some assistance. What else do we need to know? Oh,
Tiffany's over here.
we have Tiffany Burba is our videographer, and thank you for putting us up on the web. My family is all on the East Coast, so they would have no way of seeing what I was doing without that. There is a happy hour that happens here at Ghost Town, that happens here at Niche next door, and for Ghost Town Poetry Open Mic that is extended. I know it says 4 to 6 here, but these prices that you see here will apply for the rest of the evening. So be good to them next door. There's more of you than there are of them, but they'll take good care of you and tip them because they deserve it. And as some of you heard me say, it's totally fine for you to bring food and drink between the two venues, but you can't take alcohol out the front and go between some kind of liquor commission thing. So just be aware of that. If you're going back and forth with a drink, do it through those red doors. And the bathroom that you're going to want to use is also in the bar next door to your left as you go through there. I don't think there are any other like businessy type things except if you're, one more thing. If you're sitting near art, just be aware of the art. And the lovely art that you see around you tonight is by Miss Erin Dendrink, who also owns the art supply back there, Dendrink Art Supply, and has been a member and friend of Angst Gallery for many years. So really happy to have her stuff up this month for you to check out. Anything that you want to say?
Toni, take this back. Anybody else need to see it one more time? You're okay? All right, on it goes.
So in June, we had a double feature, and one of our features was somebody who I consider a mentor, someone I really looked at for how to do this thing, Dan Raphael. And Dan was not able to be here with us tonight, but he sent me this poem that he says he wrote during his feature when the series was at Cover to Cover Books. He did a feature almost to the day. It was August 9th, 2007. So he sent me this poem that he worked on during the evening, and so I told him I would read it for him. It's called Close By in Another State. Shadows on the white car, paint trees, caramel rambling like a 3-inch river inside a pulsing city arm. Resolute, stubborn, articulate. Worming to experience the anodyne of sleep when dreams aren't in focus. I want the mirror to forget those faces behind me singing atonally, as if only I, lyric apostle, bent to blend. From prison to church, a self-generating ballot box. Why water tuned muscles when we wondered how we could live among all the trees and not be run into by nightly commuters, those who only see when asleep, only move when distracted by plaster and temperature zones, where very turn the moons behind me, the winds from my left. House surrounded by taller buildings, no windows in my direction. If you come to my door, I'm in the phone line, syncopating electricity. To turn the wheel away from cars trying to merge with the largest dogs and cats who'd bounced before they surrendered. Want to get my teeth around the pane of light, that doorway in my throat. So much noise, but no one comes through. 18-wheeled thunder split by 10 pins vibrating at their own embroidery, seen in light through a massive colander colder than itself, drawing the heat of our hairs into visionary prairies. We're now small enough to coast that perspective. Like a coated roll of internal textures unwinding into a rain of whiteout, darkening in any pore mistaken for oxygen. Take a steak, thick-brained slice and dare that labyrinth if what's taken out still remembers what's between it. An amber rambler with one last exhalation about it. An amber rambler with one last exhalation about to, I breathe in a world map. Then goes starry night. Aerial photographs of interplanetary cities when air dies, when the axe gets a new handle. The message the photon was carrying gets dropped in the dark. Happy man in a new woman's bed, we dance palm to palm, eye to eye, the occasional swivel away to follow the wandering musicians as jeans become wide-bottomed skirts. A chandelier hung with faux stars, mini reactors breaking apart the idle rumors and day-old trivia that usually piles in the corners, discreet and orderless. Houses don't grow, streets don't bleed. Time going backwards, entropy blossoming throughout the body's terrains, growing and softening on the outside, more space within and between. I hold a monitor to the lumps of a soup I'll become. Never say never, having 7 fingers but only controlling 5 at a time. I bought a 3rd kidney but couldn't afford new pipes. I won't let the rain that falls here leave. Dan Raphael.
Yeah.
After you try to read a Dan Raphael poem, you need a sip of something. So, because she is going to make us all look and sound good on the interwebs, we invite Tiffany Berger to be our first reader when she's here to document the reading. So please say hello to our friend Tiffany Berger.
I'm going to stand really close to the microphone. Sorry I wasn't here last month. My son was sick and I had to go to urgent care, so strep throat, he was not happy, so I apologize. So, you should be sorry. Don't start crapping me. I've got poems about you too, Nathan. This is a poem about my lovely granddaughter. My granddaughter, who's spunky, small to the ground, whose smile is joyful, whose laughter is music, whose language is said to fiddler on the roof, whose personality is strong. My granddaughter is growing, fast like a weed, tall like the Empire State Building. She is stubborn. Her smiles don't come easy, her tears come quick. She is as curious as I am, looks at the world with wonder, tells me what she sees. She tells me to go to my room. She does. Argues with me about CDs, blows bubbles on the patio, waters the rosemary and jasmine. She likes to help. This year she decorated 2 Christmas trees, placed the star topper on one, the angel on the other. She helped me place all 30+ nutcrackers. She sat on Santa's lap. My granddaughter is my poetry, a walking collection of memories and rhyme. She takes pictures with my camera, locates my phone when it's gone missing. Because of her, I know the words to the Fiddler on the Roof soundtrack. Because of her, I love a little deeper, work a little harder. Because of her, 50 more years just doesn't seem like enough. And this was a poem after a conversation with my dad. These are your family poems too, I guess. I sipped down semi-chilled whiskey, several over the course of the day. My childhood scars are open and at the surface. My crimes of being in the middle, the girl with the anger, the sister with the loud mouth, the daughter that can't stand the injustice. My sins replay from my father's perspective, my pain retold from mine. Talk about diluted stories. Talk about pain as though it was room temperature water sipped through a straw. My mother wanted an easy daughter, one that was seen and not heard. My father wanted athletic sons to throw the football with and brag to his rugby friends. Neither got what they wanted. I wanted a mother to make me secure, a father that taught me my value as a woman, one to protect me from the heartache of men. It appears no one got what they wanted. My whiskey is almost clear now, as the ice has melted to reduce the color. My heart is still broken, still begging for acceptance, still the sister that speaks too much, isn't worldly enough. My son sits across the table cracking his feast of crab. I love to hear his voice, his knowledge of how he sees the world. I wanted my children to sound of themselves, breathe their own breath, birth their own path. In the end, I got what I wanted. The whiskey bottle is a quarter full. My brother's glass sits at half. He takes a walk while I close my eyes to our past. And this last one I wrote for my brother Tyler on his 40th birthday. And I just said, for Tyler, may your next 40 years be far greater than the first. In that exact moment, he reached middle age. I had already passed by 3 years. his brilliant mind, guitar-grasping hands, fingertips imprinted with strings, drunken howls in Colorado after tears are cried before boarding Northwest planes, 40 years of learning, angst, joy, contemplation, decisions lead to consequences, regret leads to dissatisfaction, burdens lead to resolve, obligations feel like man-made traps. Let the next 40 years transcend, where you learn to live presently, without guilt, without unjustified compromise, where the shovel that digs your grave is only touched by your own hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. And next we are going to hear from George. Is this George Thomas?
Isn't
Huh?
it?
All right.
It's George Thomas. Come on up, George. It's good to see you again.
Welcome back.
Yeah, there's a lot of new faces, but I recognize a lot of older faces too. I came a lot more when we were covering color because I was younger. And I asked myself why I've fallen off. Some of this I just don't hear well enough anymore. I have hearing aids, and by the time I absorb 2 words and I'm concentrated, they're past me and into other words in this I'll be 80 in October, and I really just don't follow the poetry anymore unless I'm reading it on the page. And I think maybe that's why I sort of fell off from coming. So, and then of course, I quit writing poetry. Well, I'm writing film scripts now. But, I mean, it's fun. But last year I recovered from cancer, I think, prostate cancer, and the treatment seems to have worked. And that did create me the energy to write about 39, 40 poems, enough for a book. So I've been working on those and trying to get them ready to enter them in some contests, put them out there, get rejected. And these are totally different. Most of you don't care about this, but I've become very aware that I'm a recovered alcoholic, and 40 years ago when I was recovering, I wrote a lot of really spiritual, what I now call emotional peak experiences, different very kind of poetry. And then when I was in my 50s, after my 3rd divorce, I wrote a lot of sexual body poetry. I was really celebrant about life. And then I didn't write for a long time, and then I wrote these poems, which are totally different. I don't think they're very poetic in that the rhythms are not there that I had when I was younger. But anyhow, here these are. Let's go, delivering the news again. Well, I had cataract surgery, and I haven't got new glasses yet, so I got to put on these reading glasses. Okay, there we go. Delivering the news again. No one seems to care, as much as you think they ought to care. Not family or friends. Well, maybe 1 or 2, but you can't seem to blame them all that much, the way they take your news. You recall those who delivered their news to you, family and friends, and how the news got lost beside your porch behind a bush till the paper yellowed and the news was far too out of date, too late to make it out. That's when you understand what their inky messages might have meant to you. For what it's worth, with all the bad news coming from your ass, instead of cooking your own spaghetti, you suggest to the wife who's just arrived from work that you go to the spaghetti factory to eat. You're worried as you take your seats the man of color who waits on you will think you made that lovely woman with you cry. Her tearful eyes are red and swollen too. You eat with gusto, enjoy the food and salad, and both take boxes home for later. Habit has decreed you'll eat spumoni to top it off, but tonight you choose to forget that habit, forgo that habit. Ice cream's on the wife's killer list of foods, the American diet that consumes us as we eat. You know, it may or may not be true, that killer list, but why not continue as if the list were true? Hell, what if the battle's lost? It makes the woman that you love feel so much better and costs you nothing as you eat out one more time of who knows how many. Routine. You emerge from slumber, then you go pee, and while you're at it, you scan your image in the mirror. You want to see if something's changed. Next, you check your weight. Listen to the electric razor busy buzzing as you shave. You put a hot wash rag compress on your eyes to clear the bug shit from your lashes. Afterwards, you shoot a saline spray up your nose and blow before you spray fluticasone proportionate into your nasal sinuses. You brush your teeth a full 2 minutes and slip into your clothes. Your hearing aids and glasses complete the task. That's when you check yourself in the mirror one more time to see if something's changed. But nothing has. Out in the living room, you scan the headlines in the paper, right where your wife has left it on the table. Then you begin to make your smoothie. You toss a chunk of tofu in, a tablespoon of protein, a dash of Swedish bitters, some agave to make it sweet. Sometimes you put in a splash of grape juice, sometimes you don't. This morning you do. You add 3 frozen strawberries, half a banana, and a quarter of an apple. Last, before you pour the almond milk, you add that prostate cancer fighter spinach. This morning, you think if this were a movie, you'd throw the tub of leafy spinach against the wall and burst into tears. But this is not a movie. To live forever. With death prowling so near, just up your butthole, and after the biopsy makes blood spurt out your penis when you come, you think your inner self should change a bit, your values maybe. You test your limits with thoughts of demons in a fiery deep and find they've flown away. And damn it, you still can't watch a ball game unless it goes your way. And politicians still trick your fears. And stupid drivers with their heedless driving, their unblinking signals, the red light runners, the lane leaping wild ones. Still, you tell yourself that more exalted thoughts should flood your mind. An inspired poem ought to light you up, or some transcendental thinking. But in the mirror, it's only you, the same old you, the you thought might live forever. Eye on the future. There's only 2 more. Eye on the future. All the probing in your stinking butt stirs up a bloody mist of memories. This morning on a walk beside your wife, your lover, you recall the daily round-trip rides on the public bus to Stivers High in Dayton, your hometown. An old girlfriend in a downtown drugstore on the corner of Main and Memory, where you met for cokes and a crush of youth. We were a flood of Fonzie before there was a Fonzie, you tell your wife, and a few Jim Starks like me. You recall the drugstore had a mezzanine. We'd all crowd up in there, smoke our Luckies, and look as cool can be. I owned a ribbed pink shirt with a roll collar, and I sported blue suede shoes in those days before Elvis stole my pleasure in them with a song. One other detail you recall about that drugstore scene, it featured an automatic door. A big round electric eye on each side watched you come and go, and when you passed between them, the doors flew open. That was the future back then. One huge transcendental eyeball that opened doors for your imagination to pass through. It watched crowds of kids pass by before Korea, before Vietnam, before Iraq and Afghanistan, before the prostate cancer up your ass. And last, the morning after. The morning after, you hear of Omar, the gay young man born in the US of A to immigrant Afghani parents who shoots up a gay nightclub where he often visited. killing 49 and wounding 53. As you make your first visit to radiation doctor Faisal Siddiqui at Peace Health. He's your second opinion, and you're hoping he'll get permission to use the cyber knife on you. He prescribes hormone pills that a coal-black son of Africa later fills for you at the KP pharmacy. Your primary physician, Stanley Sugarman, as Jewish as they come, first found the nodule on your prostate and sent you to the sweet-tempered urologist, Dr. Jason Smith, as English as that sounds. And Smith told you quite agreeably when you mentioned loyalty, you've got cancer. Of course you'll want a second opinion. You also plan a third opinion from the Knight Cancer Center at OHSU with Dr. Tomas and beer. You'll pay for that yourself, of course. And doesn't the spelling of his first name, Tomas, that ends with an S and a Z, suggest something Wagnerian to you? Something not quite American, at least, that suggests immigrant roots, a long or short time ago, something foreign sounding, come clear across an ocean to save, perhaps, your lily-white, frightened Welsh roots?
Thanks, George. And thanks for sharing the good news about your health. We're happy to hear about that. Okay, next we're going to hear from Sabi. Come on up, Sabi. Oh.
That's my nickname.
Okay. Oh, I like it. First time I heard it.
Hi. I'm nervous. And I don't want to go too fast. Morning pages. Barely awake, I sleepwalk into the kitchen, scoop up dog food into metal tins as puppies stand outside the door, eyes focused on my every move, breath held. As I cut the meat, the tension builds. When I place the dish on the floor, the youngest spins in circles and leaps for joy. Oh, to be so full of glee at the sight of breakfast. I go outside into the garden. This body feels strangely vacant, blades uncertain. I move the sprinkler to a new location in the chilly air, turning the water on. The morning doves call to its mate. My feet barely touch the ground, as dreams still linger in my brain. Back in the kitchen, I pull down a favorite green cup. Yesterday's coffee is good enough for this old gal. I've begun to think of myself as old these days. There is an acceptance that I am no longer an ingenue. That romance is not my primary calling in life. With no grandchildren, I cannot wear that honored crown. So with a bare head, I sip morning coffee and smell the air like a wandering beast lost on a plane. Seeking the next best thing, I drive to the local orchard. With a box in hand, I pick ruby red and golden yellow peaches. A young, plump, brown-skinned girl smiles warmly as she weighs my box. She asks, "Do you add sugar to your recipe?" I tell her my grandfather's peaches were so sweet, none was needed. "These are our sweetest," she replies. When I return home, I set the peaches on the corner, cover them with white linen cloth, and wait for them to ripen. I wonder about this process. Am I fully ripe? Am I ready? Am I sweet, tender, and juicy? Am I ready? Far past my prime. I can walk through an orchard and be dazzled by ruby red fruit shining through emerald green leaves. I can give advice to a young girl who smiles so warmly. How I wanted to hold her sweet round face in my gnarly hands and squeeze her.
Thank you. And next we're going to hear from Lori, who's been coming since the very beginning, November 2004.
Let's see if I can master the magic microphone. All right. Hello.
Hello.
My friend Spencer from Maryland is here tonight, so I'm going to read a poem that I wrote in response to, he will send me watercolor postcards of his watercolor paintings, and I will write him poems. So this was inspired by his poem, or his painting. It's a poem inspired by his painting. There, did I get it right that time? Okay. It's called Tranquility. Placid water shimmers silver, curtained by trees' protective arms. Firs hold shade between them, growing greener and deeper, shaping safe space. Delicate, deciduous leaves gilded by the golden sky, branches waving gently. Leaves murmur hushed response to the questions of the breeze. Is everything okay? Can you find your own heart? The soft rustling whispers, yes. Here there is peace. Right, and now I got to put a shout out to Chris's workshops that he does every month, because this is a direct result of one of the prompts during one of those workshops. Which he does here, actually. It's called Heroes. My heroes are all those who don't call themselves heroes. All the parents who keep struggling, get up and go to work, 1 job, 2 jobs, 3, to keep their children fed. Those who stay silent when that means survival, who speak up when it means death. Everyone who dares to be who they really are. All the solitary souls who long for an easy way out and keep living anyway, keep trying, hold their hand out to lift up another despite how far down they are themselves. Every single person who is willing to see their own flaws and work to improve themselves is my hero. All those who think outside the parameters of societal norms, the quiet ones who care for those around them unnoticed, the big-voiced people who won't stop calling out for a better world, anyone who steps outside their comfort zone to be vulnerable. My heroes don't think of themselves as heroes. They believe they are just people, doing their best, doing what they can, what they must. They don't know they are changing the world a bit at a time, don't see the collective result of their individual actions, are unaware of the ripple of inspiration they set off by being who they are. In a certain moment, when conditions are right, or when it's most needed, I hope each of my heroes feels a soft tingle of energy, strong and delicate like spiderweb, a gentle ripple returning to say, I see you, I love you, you matter, you're my hero.
I appreciate you mentioning the workshop, Lori. Thank you for that. And other people that have taken it have also kindly mentioned it here. We're not going to do one for August, but I believe that'll be the only month that I miss this year because I'll be out of town. And actually what's happening is I'll be at the Washougal Art Festival. We have some postcards up here if you might be interested in. Toni and I have a small press called Printed Matter Vancouver. We're also both visual artists. So we'll be there in one of the tents at the Reflection Plaza in downtown Washougal from about 9 to 4 on Saturday, and you're welcome to come and see us and say hi. And I'll probably be writing poems for people on the spot. I like to do that at public events like that. And so the next workshop will be on September 9th, and we will do it, they're always the second Saturday of the month. We do them next door at Niche. It's a suggested donation, so if you can't pay or don't want to pay, we want to have you here with us. And people bring snacks to share, and the bar is not open, but she will make coffee and tea. So if you'd like to do some writing with us, September 9th is the next time you could do that at 11:30. Thank you for mentioning it. And next we have somebody here who I think is reading for us for the first time, and please give a warm welcome to Clavina.
Actually, there used to be a poetry reading in a bookstore close to McLaughlin, and it was on Main many years ago. And I did go there, and I think I remember, is it Lori was there?
That was probably us. Well, thank you for coming back. That's a pretty long hiatus, but we're happy to
That's
have
a
you back.
long time, right? But I've been writing poetry my whole life. My first poem was recorded by my mother when I was 5 years old. It's a very derivative, but sing a song of wash day, a tub full of suds, 4 and 20 baskets full of dirty duds. For some reason, she thought that was neat. And I really haven't come prepared. I didn't know I was going to come until about 6 o'clock this evening. And I just turned 80, and I feel like I need to go back to my roots. And my roots are very much in poetry. So that's why I'm here. And I've just had cataract surgery, and I have 20/20 vision. But I find that I read better with glasses, so. I didn't really have anything prepared, but I have a good friend called Faith Yang, and I play ukulele with her. And she liked my poetry. She made me a little booklet of my poems, so I just grabbed it and brought it. This one is Winter Solstice. The conveyor belt of time inexorably bears the years. A mundane smorgasbord of days of common living, spaced by sheep, spaced by sleep. Beyond our recall, into the great maw of eternity. Some memories we snatch to hold like stolen treasures, until they too are ferreted out, reclaimed by time. To freeze the marrow of life, strong, caring friends, the whisper of lovers, a child's hand in mine, for latter-day injections when body ebbs and spirit waxes to immensity. No. Scribble, draw, love, fiddle as you will, loss prevails. So what impels this witless singing as I die? Only that same helpless hope time cannot squelch, that headlong urge to squander all in desperate gamble that songs endure. And if singing doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Thank you. This one is called Evergreen. The year grows old, and so do I. Yet am I sappy, branching, seeking light, like Mama at 90, pointing to a grinning girl in the leapfrog line, crying, "That's me!" Heartwood may age, but the leaf still springs. And this one is called Sometimes. Life is like this, a swift sliding like that fatal step you took. And suddenly, it's a less agile you, upgathering stoic strength, extending a cautious hand as to a relative of rumored ill repute, waiting for a pattern to emerge. A grave and portentous new year. And last, this is sort of a poem about the house I live in. I live beside the creek under the trees. It's called Beside the Trees and Creek. This, hanging clothes, clean on backyard line, cat flat on April warmed grass, still cool air stirring tender wisteria, branching full formed. This Drake and hen sail down sun-dappled creek. Sooty fox sparrow flirts on cherry branch. Flicker hammers message on maple. This, blue hyacinths in crowds, bleeding hearts, forget-me-nots and candy tuft, spring, a mint twist on the tongue. This, moles tunnel prodigiously, beetles wave horns, grass hops up overnight, equal denizens of this small republic. All is peace this drying day. We creatures breathe beside the creek and trees. Thank you.
Thanks. I hope you'll come back. Hi, my name is Toni, and I co-host. And I wanted to get a show of hands. How many of you have ridden a C-Tran bus within the last 2 or 3 weeks? Oh, a few of you. Okay. How many of you have seen the poems on the bus? 1, 2, 3. No? Okay. So, if you've ridden a C-Tran bus since, say, July 15th, and you haven't looked up when you're sitting in the bus to that area above the windows, you might the next time you're riding. Because the Poets in the Schools program, the students, had their poems selected and had a celebration on July 15th at Esther Short Park where they could read their poems publicly. And as of that date, all of their poems, all 10 student poets, their poems were posted on the C-Tran buses, and they will remain on those buses through December. So you still have a chance. You have quite a few months ahead. And not every poem is on every bus. So lucky for you, if you ride the bus regularly or even semi-regularly, you'll get to see several of them. There is one bus, I understand, however, that has all 10 poems on that one bus. So if you are lucky enough, and the bus does change routes regularly, if you are lucky enough to be on that bus, you get to read all 10 poems at once during your ride. If not, please take note. You will probably see a different poem most of your bus rides. So, I want to mention that to you. And if you don't ride the bus regularly, why not think about riding it to the store or to the park or somewhere where you get a chance at least to see what Poems on the Buses looks like in Clark County. Okay, I have a new piece I'd like to share with you. It's not very long, but it is a collage poem. And what that means is I like Chris, I collect lines. I hear things that are interesting, I collect words or lines, and I kind of gather them together, and every now and then I'll look in there and say, oh, that's a really cool one. Maybe I can do something with that. Usually I can work it into a title, or I can work it into a poem somewhere. This time what I did was to challenge myself to take several of them and to see if I could incorporate them into one poem. So, brand new off the presses today. I have no idea about it, but I'd love to try it out on all of you. Some of the lines came from, 2 of them came from a book called In Wilderness, written by Diane Thomas. There's a line in here from American Horror Story, episode 3, 2016, and another line from a writer by the name of April Cherry. It's called Make Time to Sing. We first met comparing family trees. She brought unexpected gifts to our first visit, ones with perspective and truth. I said that before her, grief was the longest friend I had. She said our family trees are weighted down with grief. She taught me that nobody should be a stranger to love. I reminded her that Gandhi said that, and she laughed. Told me not to hope for anything, said, life is a series of small moments. Sometimes they bring a little cooling rain, and then it's gone. That's the most you can expect. She always knew so much. Told me stories in Portuguese, Bantu, Somali, and Creole. Said that was because she had xenoglossy, the ability to speak a foreign language without having learned it. And I believed her. She was extraordinary that way. Sometime in there, her illness got its start and grew without her knowing, like gossip you don't hear until it's too late. It was a tectonic shift. At that moment, everything I knew about me fell apart. Suffering seemed embedded in our cells. We were sewing the fuck out of our feelings. She said patriarchy is in everything, including her illness. Then she slept for 2 full hours and it was like God kissed her. Today, unselfish gifts are love and sweets in the toothless mouths of babies. The untouchables are children of God in the pursuit of truth. Before she left, I learned that the space between lovers that never touch is a boarded drawbridge on flat sheets. This weighs heavy with dirt, which tomorrow I will drive away. As I drive, I will hum all the songs she never had time to sing.